Hi, my name is Beck, and I'm a student recruiter here at the Augustana Campus of the University of Alberta. Thanks for tuning in, and today I'm going to walk you through what Augustana is, what we do, the programs we offer, and what all of that could mean for you. Before I get any farther, I do want to acknowledge that the Augustana campus and the U of A as a whole is located on Treaty 6 territory. Augustana specifically is located in the Stony Creek, a traditional traveling path and home of many Indigenous and Métis peoples of this land we now call Canada. Who these people's traditions and knowledge systems continue to impact and change our current ways of knowing and teaching. So Augustana is a part of the U of A, and as such, we are considered and held to the same standards, expectations, and qualities as the rest of the U of A and its campuses. So we are within the top 5 universities in Canada and top 100 in the world. Augustana itself is located in Camrose. We are that primary large building there in the image. Uh, the Camrose itself is a city of about 20,000 people. It has everything from Walmart and Staples and Winners to smaller local shops like Twig, a local clothing store, or Fika, a coffee house just off campus. We have some pretty amazing little areas and things to do, from our bowling alley to an arcade to a movie theater. There's tons of stuff to do, including hiking our 15 kilometers worth of paved trails throughout the city, around the lake, and throughout the river valley as well. So these trails are beautiful, they are paved, they're maintained very well by the city. And in the winter, they are continued to be cleared, and additional trails are made actually for cross country skiing, which is really cool because Augustana has a Nordic ski library. So that is a place for students to go and rent skis and snowshoes and skates, all for free, to be able to use on all of these amazing outdoor spaces. So you can take advantage of that without having to spend any money, which is really, really cool. Camrose is also home to one of the oldest theaters in all of Alberta, called the Bailey Theatre. It hosts tons of live performances, everything from plays to concerts to magicians and Augustana's annual drag show. There is an endless stream of entertainment, and students actually get a discount on most of those performances as well. So you can pick up a set of tickets for pretty cheap and have a really fun time. But of course, you are listening today to learn a little bit more about the campus itself. So let's take a deeper dive into the Augustana Advantage. Augustana is home to about 1,000 students, which actually contributes to our average class size being about 22 people. So this is pretty small, and actually our largest classroom on campus can only seat 90 people. So you will never be in a lecture larger than that. And of course, they do average much, much smaller. So this is a huge advantage to you because you have a little bit more face time with your profs, which makes it easier to ask questions or get extra help. But it also can help to stand out a little bit more and eventually pursue research with those professors or get letters of recommendation if you intend to go on to graduate studies of some kind. These connections can help you to gain further access to experiences that may impact your overall university and employability. So amazing, amazing opportunities come out of that smaller size. Our smaller campus has some pretty great places to be, though. Our Learning Commons is one of them. It is newly renovated. It is a student study space above our library, so you have easy access to all of the materials you would need for classes, as well as many of our profs have offices in and around this space. It is also full of windows and natural light, so it is a pretty great space to go and spend some time studying or hanging out with friends. But one of my personal favorites was actually our forum, which is the main hub of campus. It is everyone passes through there on a daily basis. There is a cafe and tons of couches and other comfy seats. There's even several fireplaces along the forum, so it is a pretty welcoming and inviting place to go and hang out with friends, have conversation, and just discuss ideas. One of the places that we also have off campus is our Miquelon Lake Research Station, which is located in the Miquelon Lake Provincial Park. So, this research station has fully equipped classrooms and laboratory spaces, as well as kitchens and dormitories. So, this station is equipped to house students and staff and faculty so they can conduct research experiments for longer periods of time in the environments that they are studying. So, actually, this last winter, January 2023, we had a group of students out there, about 10 of them, with two of our professors. And these students actually got to conduct and review their own projects about wildlife, biodiversity, and ecology of the local area, which was really cool. And some of our students are continuing that research into this year as well. The additional photo on this slide, as you can see there, is our telescope. It is the HESG Observatory. It is the newest and strongest telescope that the U of A owns, which is really exciting. It is also located in a dark sky preserve, which means we are getting some of the best photos back that we could possibly get from this amazing telescope, which is really helping our professors and students with research, as well as coursework and other just fun student life activities with the Students Association, clubs, and various other groups. So, this is an amazing space for academics and also the extracurricular side of Augustana. Heading back a little bit closer to campus, we're going to talk about our dormitories, which is that E shaped building right at the top of the photo there. So, our residence, our Hoini complex, is where most of our first year students will end up staying. It's your classic dormitory that you think of when you think of a university dorm. You have two beds, two desks, two closets, two people living in a room together. There is opportunity to have single rooms as well. And in our upper year Ravine complex residences, they are a little bit more spread out. So these rooms you will live in, there is shared washrooms and showers and spaces for every single floor, and a combination of different individuals on those floors as well. So there's an experience that can fit everyone. I really suggest considering living in residence. It is a great experience to meet people and make friends and learn a few new things, join groups, find out about events going on. In that sense, it's great for student life. It's also really handy. You are less than a 5-minute walk from any of your classes on campus, which is really handy because if you're like me and not a morning person, you can roll out of bed at 8:30 and still make it to your classes on time and not have to worry about being late. So that was pretty great as well. The other benefit of residence is the residence rates also include your entire meal plan. It is an all access meal plan in our dining hall. So you'll get breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks in between and after all of those as well. So you're going to get fed pretty well. It is all access, all you can eat. So you can go up and get as many plates as you'd like. There's always going to be at least a couple different options for every single meal. So there's something for everyone, even if you're a little bit on the pickier side, or if you have dietary restrictions, such as being lactose intolerant, or celiac, or being vegetarian or halal. Our dining hall staff will help to coordinate different meal plans for you to fit all of those different needs. And they are phenomenal meals. I am a vegetarian myself, and I still frequently go there for lunch because it really just is that good. We have a pretty amazing in house team that'll feed you and keep you healthy throughout the year. Student life on our Augustana campus is just as vibrant as North Campus and has all of those same things that you would expect and may have heard about. We have student governance with our Students Association. Uh, we have 15 to 20 student clubs going on campus at any given time. Everything from the chemistry club and the psychology club to the Harry Potter club or the dance club. We have campus chaplaincy and a variety of different leadership opportunities within that. We have 4 different choirs that you could join for fun or for credit, and tons of other recreation and athletic opportunities uh, all throughout the year, any season, any time. There's something going on, there's some sort of event going on campus. It is pretty exciting, and we make sure that our students have a lot of opportunities to get out and about. Speaking of athletics, though, we do actually have varsity athletics teams. We are the Vikings, and we compete at the ACAC level. We have several different sports there, as you can see listed. If you are interested in playing on our Vikings teams, I urge you to go to that link on the webpage uh, on the slide there, govikings.ca, to connect with one of our coaches and start getting scouted as early as your grade 11 year. That way, we can potentially offer you a position on one of our teams before you even get here in the fall. It's definitely worth taking a look at, especially if you are interested in playing sports at the competitive level. Augustana also has a number of student services here to assist all of our students with whatever they may need. Everything from personal and pastoral counseling to academic advising and accessibility resources. We have our Indigenous Student Service Coordinator and our International Student Service Coordinator, and tons and tons and tons of other supports throughout campus. Essentially, if you have an issue, there is someone at the University of Alberta that is there to help you. It is their job to assist with whatever you may be experiencing. We've seen it all, and we're here to help. It is just a matter of reaching out and finding us, but we will do whatever we can to make this a good experience for you, from academics to your personal life. But of course, when you're thinking about university, you want to listen, you want to hear a little bit more about those programs, the majors, and what you'll actually be studying when you get here. Augustana offers a few different programs, but to start off, let's talk about our Bachelor of Arts. We offer 6 different majors, as well as our undeclared major, which means you don't have to choose. You could enter into Augustana as undeclared, take a few classes, a mix of things, and then choose a major at the end of your first year. So you don't have to choose right away, and it's a way for you to explore the different options and your interests. In our Bachelor of Arts program, we do offer majors in creativity and culture, ethics and global studies, law, crime, and justice studies, physical education, psychology and mental health, and sustainability studies. We also offer a pretty phenomenal Bachelor of Music program, majoring in performance-based pedagogy. So you will learn how to perform and be in those performance spaces, as well as how to teach music as well. We find most of our students end up teaching in some capacity, whether they are opening their own practice, becoming a music teacher in a school, or going on to graduate studies. Our students end up teaching to some degree or instructing, so we really wanted to emphasize that part in our programs and set our students up for success the best way we can. So within this performance-based pedagogy major, you can actually specialize further, uh, whether it is generally in our comprehensive stream, or within our conducting, keyboard, or voice streams as well. We do offer 5 different Bachelor of Science majors, as well as the sixth undeclared major, where again you can take a bit of everything and declare a major later. Within our Bachelor of Science, we offer integrative biology, chemical and physical sciences, which is going to be very chemistry heavy, going a little bit into the physics and the biological sciences as well. We offer computing science and mathematics, environmental science, and physical education. You may have noticed we offer physical education as Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Our science is going to go a little bit more into our hormones, our anatomy, the physical being, whereas the arts half of things would go a little bit more into the sociology and the leadership half of things. Uh, there's a lot of overlap in both of those programs, but your individual interests will impact the program that will suit you best. Next, we offer our combined degree in conjunction with the Faculty of Arts on North Campus. This is a 5-year program, but you will gain both a Bachelor of Arts, or sorry, a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Education. So 2 degrees in 5 years is a pretty great deal. And you, especially if you are wanting to be a science teacher at the end of your studies, this is going to be a great way to go into that uh, as efficiently as possible, and also start at a slightly higher salary when you eventually do start teaching, because you have 2 degrees and thus more education. So uh, it is a great option, especially if you want to go into teaching sciences. We also are just starting to offer our Bachelor of Education elementary stream as well. So, this is a brand new program where you will focus on general program and courses. As an elementary teacher, you will be teaching a little bit of everything. So with this program, you will do your first 2 years at Augustana Campus and your last 2 years up at North Campus. Similarly to the combined 5-year program, that one is 3 years at Augustana and 2 years on North Campus. Finally, there are many options to embed a few certificates into your program as well. So, this is a way to increase your education or diversify your knowledge base into a variety of other areas and disciplines, while also gaining an additional certification, an additional parchment alongside your degree when you graduate. We have everything from writing studies to entrepreneurship and real estate. There's tons of different options, and I urge you to take a look at it when you get started with Augustana, and our advisors will be around to help you get started in those programs. At the U of A, we really want to go beyond the books. We want to get our students outside of the classroom and get hands on experience that'll actually matter when you're going into the workforce. Because of these different opportunities, U of A actually ranks number 2 in all of Canada for graduate employment rates. One of the first ways that Augustana does this is with our core courses. Our Augustana Core is the classes that are similar between all of our programs, all of our majors. Everyone needs to take these classes in order to get an Augustana degree. So all of our science students will end up taking at least a few arts classes. Our arts students will take a few science classes uh, and a few other pieces, just to ensure our students are well-rounded individuals and thinkers and are able to uh, consider other disciplines outside of their own. One of the first classes we do this with is with our first year seminar. So this is a intro to university class. We want you to start university on the right foot. So we are going to teach you what our expectations are in terms of presenting and writing a paper, what the library is like, and how to find an academic article, and how to decipher what that article is trying to tell, or what is that article is trying to tell you. Uh, we will do all of that in your first year seminar to help prepare you for the rest of the year and the rest of your degree. But these are typically taught in fun topics such as platform 9 3/4 was a topic this year. We also had murder in the first year degree, as well as first beer seminar. So there's some really fun topics. They vary year to year depending on the prof's own personal interest. So there's no end to what could potentially show up in that list. It is a pretty cool class, and I definitely learned a lot and helped me start university in a better place than I would have otherwise. The next thing Augustana does a little bit differently is going to be our academic calendar. So with our typical semester, they it does span 14 weeks, and you'll take 5 courses within those 14 weeks. But we've gone a step further and separated it a little bit more. So during the first 3 weeks of that semester, you will take a single course. And at the end of that course, at the end of that 3 weeks, you are done, you have the credits, you're good to go. And then the following 11 weeks, you'll do the other 4 courses. So this is really helpful because our students are never doing more than 4 midterms or 4 final exams at a time, which really decreases our overall student stress levels. It's very helpful for international trips and field trips and things like that in the 3 week because our professors and students don't have to worry about other classes going on and staying caught up on homework for other courses because they only need to worry about that one. So there's some pretty amazing things that you can do in those 3 weeks. Like I mentioned earlier with the research station, we had our ecology course happening in our January 3 week. We had an international trip also go out this last January to Greece. So they were out during that 3 week and they didn't have to worry about anything else other than being in Greece, being in that moment, and enjoying the things that they were learning in those spaces. So this photo was actually taken in the Theater of Delphi, and one of our students presented about what that space was and about the history of it while they were standing there. So this gave them the chance to actually physically interact with the things they were learning about, which can be really impactful in your long-term education. We have a number of different field studies courses, like I mentioned, the research station, but we also send a 3 week trip out to Costa Rica as well to do ecology based field studies there. And we do a entire semester abroad in Cuba to further study ecology, Spanish, and culture within that space. The other photo is from our snowshoeing trip that goes out in our January 3 week. They spend a week actually out snowshoeing and camping within the Lac-La-Biche County, which is pretty cool. They do a lot of winter camping with big canvas tents and wood burning stoves. My friends always assured me that it was a lot of fun and they really enjoyed it, but I myself am not a fan of the cold, so I always found it hard to believe. But the photos they always bring back never cease to amaze me. One piece that I did take part in a lot was community service learning. So, this is essentially a volunteer placement that you get credit for, which is really, really cool because you can work in classrooms within the Camrose community. I actually got a chance to work with the local Camrose Museum and work with their curator and gardens. I worked with WSP, which is an environmental engineering and consultation firm, and I helped them to create a species database as a part of my environmental studies minor, which was pretty amazing. All of which are experiences that I probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to do were it not for community service learning and the relationships that Augustana had with all of those organizations already. It was a pretty cool way to learn and gain that experience and actually connect what I was learning in class to the real world um, without having to write a research paper or do more finals than I was already doing. I really loved the community service learning and all of the different experiential learning opportunities that Augustana provided, especially when it came to our student academic conference. This was an opportunity for students to actually present and share with their fellow students, professionals, and the Camrose community as a whole about what they've been researching, what they've been working on all semester or all year. And it is everything from our first year biology classes to our final year students who are graduating in a few weeks, presenting their term of artwork or their independent research that they've been working on for the last year. This is a pretty cool experience and opportunity for students to gain that knowledge, gain that experience that they can add to their resume, which will greatly assist them when going into graduate studies or just into their professions as a whole. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit about how to apply and what the application process looks like. First, we are going to take a total of 5 grade 12 courses to calculate your admissions average. For those 5 courses, we are going to want to see English Language Arts 30-1 for Alberta students, and 3 additional core academic courses. So these are things like social studies, math, sciences, language courses, Aboriginal studies, but 3 core academic subjects at the 30 level, and then a 5th approved grade 12 subject. For Augustana, we're pretty flexible with that one, so it could be a phys ed 30, an art 30, it could be CTS credits. There's a number of different things, so there's plenty of flexibility there. These requirements are going to differ a little bit major to major. We're going to want to see different things for different programs. So when you are considering applying, take a look at uab.ca/programs to get the full list of requirements for every single program. The other important thing I like to mention is our competitive average. We are actually typically admitting in the low to mid 70% range, so we are one of the more accessible faculties of the U of A. When you go to apply, you are going to do a couple of things. You're going to choose the programs you're actually applying for. With your application, we ask you to select a priority 1 program and a priority 2 program. So your priority 1 is of course what you want the most, what program you want to enter into. Um, it is your top priority. So you're going to put that one as number 1. In the event that you are not admissible to that program, whether it is a class is missing, your average isn't high enough, something along those lines, that is when we will assess you for your second choice program. So your second choice is a kind of like a built-in safety net into the application, and it is a way for you to have almost 2 in 1. Uh, so when we are assessing your application, we're going to ask you to do a few different things. We want you to submit all of your grade 11 grades and tell us all of the grade 12 grades you are currently registered in and planning to take over the course of the next year. That way, we can properly assess what requirements you have and don't have and can offer you the appropriate response. Of course, when you're applying, you're typically applying in October or the fall of your grade 12 year. You don't have much for your grade 12 grades yet. That is totally okay. We are going to assess you first on your grade 11 grades, and we may potentially offer you a conditional acceptance based on that. And at that point, you just have to maintain your grades and finish the grade 12 year strong. If not, no worries still. You are going to update us in February after your provincial diploma exams are done and you have that first semester of grades. You'll send us that new update and we'll assess you again in July when we get your full final transcripts from the year. But if our admissions average changes or we change the courses we need for a particular program, We will assess you again and again throughout the year. So your application may be looked at dozens of times throughout the year from the moment you apply until the summer when the transcripts are finalized and come in. So there's plenty of time to receive that offer. So after you've submitted and uh, you've gotten all of your things submitted, and we have your application, we are going to continually update you through your UAlberta email that you'll get at the time of your application submission. Using that email, you will be able to log into your UAlberta Launchpad account, which is our application software. That's where you're going to send us those updates, extra documents, things like that. We are only going to send communications to your UAlberta email or your Launchpad account. So make sure that you are checking those platforms for your status or if you have been offered admissions to your programs of choice. That is the only place we're going to tell you, so make sure to check that. After that, you of course want to accept your offer as soon as you can. Your offer letter will indicate the date your offer must be accepted by. Typically, this is going to be May 1st. However, your letter will say for sure, so please double check that. After you've accepted your offer, you can actually start registering courses in April, but we will send you tons of emails about accepting your offer and registering for classes, so just keep an eye out for all of that. Big question when it comes to university is, of course, the costs. I urge you to check out the link at the bottom of the screen there, uab.ca/costcalc. It'll give you a personalized estimate of what you can expect to pay per term, as well as for the full year. But our average tuition for the year for domestic students is about $6,800, and for international students, it's about $31,000 for this current year. Our residence plan for Augustana residences also sits at about $8,900 for the year. Again, that includes the full residence and meal plan in that price. But to get the best idea of what you could expect to pay, check out that cost calc link. Of course, the University of Alberta knows that it's expensive and but it is also one of the most important investments our young people can make. So we offer over $46 million in scholarships every single year to all of our U of A undergraduate students, with $500,000 of that specifically available for Augustana students. These awards are available in a few ways. Um, the first being our admissions based scholarships. For these ones, you don't have to do anything extra, and we are going to automatically evaluate you for these awards when we evaluate you for your admissions to your program. So, if you get an offer of admissions, you could potentially get offered scholarships as well. These admissions based awards are going to be primarily grades based. There are tons to go around, but we do also have application based scholarships, which are going to lean a little bit more into the extracurriculars half of things and who you are outside of the classroom. So, this is going to be checking to see who you are as a person and asking what sort of experiences you've had that led you to where you are and to where you want to go. So you could talk about things like being in student leadership or having a part time job. Uh, all those sorts of experiences is what we want to see and what we want to hear about. These are application based, so you do have to submit an application, but it is pretty quick. It is a pretty small application, about 400 words, over the course of a number of different questions. We're going to ask you to tell us about yourself, and then using that information, we will assess you for all of the scholarships that we have available. So, between that application and your program application, you will be considered for all of the awards that the U of A could potentially offer you. So, it is a great thing to consider and utilize. Again, tons and tons of awards at varying amounts that can be won for all of our students. I do want to invite you to see campus, whether that is in person, you can come tour us, you can connect with us, and we can lead you around campus, show you classrooms, meet profs and current students. Or if you're not able to make it out in person, we do offer virtual tours as well, and you can check us out at uab.ca/augvisit. You can also follow us on Instagram and a variety of other social media platforms and learn more at uab.ca/augfuture. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you listening. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our email is on the bottom of the screen there. And I really hope that this presentation uh, showed you what the Augustana Advantage is and what it could be for you. Thank you so much.